Welcome back to Flying Tiles. It's great to have you here. We're going to delve into the 2026 National Mah Jongg League card. We're going to begin with the any like number category. Let's start with the first hand there, and that's the one with the sextet of flowers. We haven't seen that for many, many years. This hand is exposed and it's worth 30 points, probably because of the sextet of flowers. Let's take a look and see what this hand looks like. I chose the number 9. So there's 2 suits. I chose 9 crack and 9 dot. And both those are Kongs. And then in the middle there, we have our 6 tiles of flowers. Now, of course, you're going to have to use jokers in the middle one. So in this hand, you can use jokers in all of the tile blocks. So you can use them in that 9 crack, in the flowers, and in the 9 dots. And if a player has enough jokers, they can use them all for the 6 flowers that are required in this hand. There is something about this 6 tile block that is throwing players off. So if you're going to call for a discard to create an exposure, you have got to have all 5 tiles ready to go to make that complete 6 tile exposure. A player cannot put up a pung of flowers and then another pung of flowers thinking that that would equal the sextet of flowers. I also want to reiterate that you can have any combination of flowers and jokers together to make that middle 6 tile block. Let's take a look at the second line down here. You do need to have all 3 dragons. A player will also need to have all 3 suits of the like number of whatever number that was coming in for him or her. Okay, so let's take a look and see what these look like in the tile blocks. When you see a tile laying on its side, that's a representation of a single tile. So here we have a Kong, and then we have a single dragon, then we have a Pung, and then we have a single dragon, and then we have a Kong again, and then we have the single dragon. And as you note, those dragons have to match the blocks. So that green dragon is matching the BAMs, that soap is matching the dots, and that red dragon's matching the cracks. And your jokers just go into the Kong, the Pung, and the Kong. So those single tiles cannot be jokers. They have to be actual dragons. Also, this hand really connects well to even numbers, 3, 6, 9, odd category. It's a good pivot hand. All right, we're moving on to the last hand here. And it looks like in this hand, you need to have 3 separate suits as well. And you have 3 pairs, the flowers, the pair, and the dragon pair. And you can use any dragon. It states this in the parentheses. This is what the hand looks like in tiles, and I chose to use the number 4 for the like numbers. We have our pair of flowers, our Kong of 4s. We have a pair of 4s and a Kong of 4s. Again, using 3 different suits, and no jokers in the pairs, no jokers in the flowers, no jokers in those 4 crack pair, and no jokers in the dragons. And I'm just switching out the dragons just to emphasize again, the dragons do not have to match any particular tile block. The National Mah Jongg League only has 3 colors of ink to work with. So that's why that pair of dragons is the same color as one of the Kongs in the hand on the card. So if you look in the parentheses, it clearly states any dragon. So any dragon can be used. And that's why you need to read your parentheses as well as look at how the hand is laid out with the colors and the blocks. Those 2 put together will tell you the correct hand for a mahjong. The any like number category is a very highly flexible category. I find that I sometimes will be toggling between any like numbers and the even categories, or the 3, 6, 9 categories even, and also the quint category. The quint category this year has any like numbers. I think it's the first hand that they have. We're going to move on to the quint category now. And the first hand, yes, it is an any like number category. And so we have a quint, a Kong, and a quint, 3 different suits. And the value, it's 40 points, and this is exposed. And so this is a fairly basic category. Let's take a look. It's an easy category, so to speak. You just have to have enough jokers, and you can have jokers in every single tile block. I chose 7, so I have the quint of 7 dots, the Kong of 7 bams, and the quint of 7 cracks. And jokers can be in all those categories. Jokers can take up a whole tile block too. So you can have a quint of jokers, you could have a Kong of jokers. See, I just changed it there, so I put in 4 jokers. That's perfectly acceptable. You just let folks know this is going to be my 7 bam category. And I'm just moving the jokers around here, just playing around with the tiles. There is not a lot of mystery with this hand. Let's look at the second hand down here. This hand has 2 quint blocks and 2 pair blocks. There's our pair. And the number tiles have to be all the same suit. They cannot be different suits. And this is an exposed hand with a value of 45. That's great. And this is what it looks like. So we have our pair of flowers, we have our quint, we have our pair, and we have our quint. These tiles have to be consecutive run in the same suit. So again, no jokers in the pairs. You can have the jokers in the quints, but no jokers in the pair. So the consecutive run I chose was 7, 8, 9 in the dot suit. So you can do any consecutive number. So it can be 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, just any 3 consecutive number combination as long as they're all in the same suit. So let's look at this last one. This is a fun one. So any 2 numbers, and when it says any 2 numbers, it means any 2 numbers. So you can do any 2 number combination. And then this is exposed hand worth 40 points. It's 1 suit in the numbered tiles, and then the dragon has to be an opposite suit. It cannot be the same. It cannot be the dragon that corresponds to the suit that you chose. So I went with dots here, and I did a 3 dot and an 8 dot because there aren't hands with those numbers. And I chose green dragon because that green dragon does not correspond to dots. Now, soaps correspond to dots, and I'm saying no, that would be a dead hand. That would not be a mahjong. So it can either be the red dragon as I have here, or the green dragon, which I had previously. And again, jokers can go in all of these tile blocks. So the jokers can go in the quint of 3 dots. The jokers can go in the quint of 8 dots, and jokers can go in the Kong of dragons. Thank you so much again for stopping by. That's our first look at 2 categories in the 2026 National Mah Jongg League card. We'll be looking at consecutive runs next. I am more than happy to answer all your questions. Again, thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video.